everyone, so I thought I would do a packaging video with this fall listing. So the first thing I'm doing is taping up a box. I love these Regional A's. I love them so much. So I need to lay in some bubble wrap. And I pulled this one actually in half, but let me think of what's in this order. No, I'm doing that one different this time. Oh my word. Perforated bubble wrap that does not perforate properly. Rip. Look at this. This is my line right here. So if you see your bubble wrap just seriously wonky, it's because of this. Buying bubble wrap that's perforated and it doesn't tear on the line. Whatever. I have done nothing but fight with supplies with this listing. It's taken me a little bit longer than I wanted to, and it's because I'm fighting so much. I have this beautiful royal blue tissue paper. Okay, let's see. First I gotta put in the twine. Now, I was using some like twisted, it's like super twisted paper, crinkle paper to make a ribbon. And I realized that stuff is a no-go. Because it looks gorgeous, but the problem is that it takes forever to untwist this stuff. And it was killing my hands and my wrist and just taking up too much time. So, that did not work out. Alright, get in there properly, little dude. Okay, so then, I don't usually pack up here on this counter, though I'm thinking this is delightful. Maybe I'll switch. So, see there, this is my main reason. I just got a little bit of oil or something that was residual on my baking table. So I'm only packing over here for the purpose of my lighting and setup. Where I actually package, I have all my licensing and everything on the wall, and it's really not the prettiest in the whole scheme of things. So I just thought I'd come over here where all my lights are set up. Alright, so there we have the tissue paper. I am going to go pick what I need for this order. Okay, so this is a very delightful fall order. So we have the sampler box. It's going right in. Looks like these guys shifted a little bit, but they are probably going to get worse before they get better. I just try to make sure I got everything in there right and didn't screw up my product at all. Alright, so we put that in there, but I've got to get some bubble wrap to cover that. Don't want that to be squished. So this particular order is very awesomely fall. So we have the Cozy Apple in Autumn Spice soap, and we've got a pumpkin spice and marshmallow soap, and a coffee and cane sugar soap. Delightful. And a buttermilk and honey soap. That is a nice collection, if I may say so myself. I love seeing what people choose. I love it. So this particular order is headed to Oregon, so hint, hint, this could be your order. Alright, so I've got some nice craft in some yellow for my whole sunflower theme. So free in this one is a Spanish lavender essential oil soap sample, a sunflower milk, a tea. This is a apple cider spiced apple cider herb tea. That's delicious. I know because I test them before I send them. And then I need to check off. I check that I packed and then I mark it again so that I make sure that it's all in there. Usually I would check it first when I pick it and then I check it again. That it's in there. I don't want to show you the name on this order, so I'm just folding it differently than I normally would. So we'll put him there. This is my card. The colors did come out as well, darned it, but it's hard to translate that from what I designed to what the printer sees. I'm going to finish this. I'm not going to let you see who I'm writing it to. Alright, so tucking the card in, and then I have a business card. Again, this blue is supposed to be brighter like this, but that's just how it translates out. So we'll put him there. And did I bring my tape? I did. Tuck you down in there, and then I fold tape. I've got my little twine here, and I'm just gonna slide my tag. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do this video, but I will probably insert how I make the tag here. Alright, showing how I make my sunflower tag this time. I have the Sizzix Big Shot, and I actually can put on a couple of layers of cardstock. So I'm going to put down my sunflower die, and then my cutting plate, and then I just roll her through. So here we have two cut. So I'm going to just reposition it and bring it back this direction. I think I've done 3 sheets too, so I can move along quickly. I've made a lot of these so far, but I'm in a process where I need some more to continue packing orders, so I thought maybe I would show you how I do it. Alright, another 2 more, and then I think I have room. I'll run it through once more. I have found it's easiest to die cut the stamps first, actually, or die cut the pieces and then stamp. Alright, so there we have some cuts, and I will be back for the stamping. Alright, so the first thing I do is I have my little mini MISTI tool, and I have a nice square cutout of the sunflower, and my magnets are down. So this makes it easier to mass produce. I just fit it down in the spot, that way it's always the same. And then let's see, I guess the first thing I needed to do was set up my proper piece. So this is I stamp each one 4 times. Now this particular one can do more than the 4, but I'm just going with the 4. I have the sunflower stamp, layering stamp from Right at Home Shop. And let's see, we'll start with the green one, and so now I can just, since I made this base piece, now I can just line it up like so, and then I close the lid to grab it, and now put that back off to the side. So that's just my guide. And now put in the blank one. I'm just using various stamp pads from various companies. This one is Simon Says Stamp Green Apple. And there we go with the one. And I will just continue to make all of them. Now, my hands are working hands, so I don't use nail polish. With all the washing that I do to make soap and everything, it all just comes right off, just chips, so I don't even bother. And my nails are like razor blades. So ever since I think I'm confused here. There we go. Ever since my children, no, that's not it either. Yeah, it is. Since my children were babies, and my first child was a newborn, and I actually scratched him, so I felt bad about that. So I have kept my nails short pretty much ever since then. They just get in the way, so I don't bother. Seems like I always tend to have a little bit of residue too around my nails from all the excessive washing that I do, between washing all my gear, and you know, when you're in this business you have to wash your hands a lot. It's not something that you can get by not doing. So going back to where I started, I don't have the most beautiful hands in the world. I don't have polish and everything like all those amazing stampers that we watch. So you can watch Nicole and some others actually stamp using this set online. There's a Right at Home Shop YouTube channel. And so, last one, I probably won't show you all of them. Next time I will probably cut it out. So if I had the main, the bigger MISTI tool, I would probably set it up so that I can like flip it, but I don't have that this time. So this brighter yellow, kind of like a lemon yellow, is my next one to work with. So let's see, it goes like so. I initially was lining these all up every single time, and I realized I'm way not smart enough to do that each time. They're just mildly confusing. It's not bad. I mean, it's easy to get, but to do it over and over and over again was kind of confusing, so I decided just to make myself these little guides. So now I'm going in with Hero Arts Lemon Yellow. So it's building up a beautiful little sunflower here. I do try to lay them all down in the same direction, but I wasn't paying attention. That way I can easily grab them up next time. Alright, now for this last center part, I did not show lining that up because I had to get my big fat head in the way. It's the one that makes the whole thing, I think. Okay, so I'm line this up. I usually just put on a YouTube video to watch. The first time I actually watched Nicole's video and went along at the same time. Alright, so I'm using some Simon Says Stamp dark chocolate. And then hopefully this is all lined up. It is. So there we go with the little tag. little sunflower. There's this other one I really want to try in here as well. This flatter type one, side one I guess, is more of what I mean. We were out driving the other day. I do love to go out for a drive on a Saturday. I remember disliking that as a child, but now my husband and I, we are those people. We go out for a drive and explore and take back roads and just see what happens. And so we were driving, just driving some back roads, and I saw a sunflower field. I love sunflowers. I especially love sunflower fields, and I've always wanted to go to Grinter Farms up around Kansas City, but it's always so busy, and I'm kind of an anti-busy person. I don't really like busy places, and so we've never actually gone there. And this was just like our own personal little sunflower field. There was nobody around. They were a little past their prime, but it was still gorgeous, and it made my day. When we went past it the first time, my husband said, "I'll get you in that field, I'll get you back." So we went and did our running around and had lunch and came back, and sure enough, he got me in the field. Now, he did actually drive in the field, which kind of made me nervous. Okay, so I had to stop the video there for a second. My husband walked into my studio, had to go get more twine, so he stopped and got that on his way home from work. But anyway, I think I was saying he pulled into the field, and by that I don't mean like into the plants or anything, but there was like a little, you know how fields have a little turn in, and he pulled in there and took some pictures for me. But it made me nervous anyway. I don't like doing anything that could be misconstrued as improper. Okay, so now I have those all done, and I just have a little, just a little alcohol, and just clean it off there. So set that aside. It's all quite glittery around here. And then I just used my massive whatever we are memory keepers, and I use this small little punch, and that's pretty much all I do. These are curling a little bit because they don't have the thickness to prevent it, but that's alright. Alright, so there I have 8. I usually do a whole bunch more at once, obviously, but I have the 8, and that's how I make the sunflower tag. So I also have a cute little sticker. This is my sunflower saying, and it's advice from a sunflower. And it says, "Rise, shine, hold your head high with each new day. Be bright, sunny, and positive. Spread seeds of happiness and keep on growing." I just thought that was a cool thing. Oh, I need one more sticker. I have my little owl sticker with my little sunflower there on the edge. I'll just fold everybody up just so. Tuck him into the side. And tape up. Alright, so I'll pack one more here. So I have my little box. It's going to go inside the padded mailer. I do pay for these. So I'm going to add some twine. My bubble wrap, actually. Put the bubble wrap in first. that in there. I'm gonna go ahead and get my tissue paper in there. So this customer has a pumpkin spice and marshmallow soap and a coffee and cane sugar soap. I should be able to get this all in here. I'm going to put in the buttermilk and honey soap. Let's go sideways there. I've got a pineapple and cotton candy melt and a winter wonderland melt. And then this is a patchouli rain melt. These are just my overpours, so they do fluctuate. And then we have a berry brew and a love bite wax melt. I'm going to put them end to end. I'm trying to look how I want this all to go. That'll work. Give it some padding to sit in. Alright, that looks alright. So mark my list. And a little bit of tissue for cushioning here. Not tissue, shred. Shove them down in there. Don't really need it on top of the box, just so. So we have the gift melt, the tea, and then I will write the note. Everybody put in all nice and cozy here. The business card. Everybody's tucked in there. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and tie this without taping. Should be fine. And then with the tag. Sticker, one sticker, and the other sticker. It always ends up in a different place with each order. Bubble wrap is not wanting to cooperate as well as usual. And smack those edges so that it will just slide down in this mailer. A lot of money actually goes into all these extra details. They're not always covered. The last order I packed actually cost me $1.50 more than I charged. And that didn't even include my bubble wrap and packaging materials. But that's just the way it goes sometimes. I had people complain once about my shipping cost, and more often than not, I pay more than is charged. Alright, so this one is ready to go. I know some people leave those ends out. I can't do it. I've got to have a nice little package here. Alright guys, so there you have it. Talk to you later. Alright, so I thought I'd show you how I make our sunflower wax melts. These are being sent out with the orders this month. September is sunflower month around here, so going with the sunflower theme. So I have some wax that has been melted and colored with some dark brown. and so you can see the designs in the molds here. Where's my glitter? I'll start with my glitter. This little guy, I love these poofers, but this it's broken, but it still works. It doesn't have like the little arm on it. It comes out really nice. It's flying everywhere, but this is really the best way to apply this like biodegradable glitter and eco glitter. So I had quite a lot of these made, and I do mean quite a lot made, but I needed to get some more made because I did get a little bit more orders than I originally planned, and then I had to wait on my wax to come in before I could get more made. I hope to get it done over the weekend, but it didn't get done, but it didn't really apply to you right at this very moment. So I'm gonna zoom in, I think. Hopefully it's nice and clear. You can see what I'm doing. So I'm just using a pipette just to kind of put a little bit in the center, and if I get any off a little, I will clean that up when it dries off. I just love this gold bio glitter. It is just the prettiest thing. So it ends up being a bit of a chore. This could be done better, possibly, but this is what's working for me. I've always liked working with the pipettes. So it is really easy to clean them up. That's why I'm not worrying about if it falls down the edge. I usually do this on a lower table sitting down, so I tend to be a little bit closer. So this is it going as well as it normally does, just because I'm not with my face right over top of it, so I can really see what I'm doing. So I'm only going to show you this 6. And when this dries off or solidifies, I'll show you what I do next. So the next part here is the cleanup, and I have done most of the molds already. So you can see that there. All I do is just take the tip of a knife and just break off the bits that went down into the petal part. When I pay more attention, concentrate more, this does not happen. It's prevalent here. So I might have to resprinkle a little bit of glitter. Down in there. Okay, so I'll be back for the actual pouring. Okay, so I have my melted wax. It's just a typical tart wax. Needs to be hard enough to be able to unmold. So the next thing I need to do is add the color. Have some yellow. I just did add more than I intended to, but only by a couple drops. This yellow is very pale, so now I'm adding some orange. I'll stir that up, get it scraped off the sides when I can. This is a messy project. Yeah, that color looks nice. I like to work with something white. A lot of times I use the back of like labels, a sheet of labels when I'm done with it that has kind of a slick coating, and so it works really well. Alright, check my temperature here. It's about time to add in my fragrance. I'm going to use Amish Quilt from Rustic Essentials this time. The last batch I did, well, I have done some apple clove butter and Amish Quilt. I just quick measured out some of the fragrance into this Dixie cup, because my scale is off to the side. It always solidifies a little bit. And then I just have to stir for a couple minutes. So while I'm stirring, I thought I would answer the question of what is a wax melt. I do get asked it quite a bit. And it's for home fragrance. It's like a candle tart or a wickless candle. What you do is you just put the wax melt into a wax warmer. There's usually plate warmers or bulb warmers. Tea light warmers may not work real well with my wax just because it's harder and it may not get hot enough to melt it down completely. The hotter your melter or warmer, so like a plate warmer, then the quicker it's going to release the fragrance, but it won't last necessarily as long. So I typically use bulb warmers, and I think it's a happy medium of getting the wax melted and also releasing the fragrance into the air. But that's what they are. They just melt and release the fragrance into the air. I can usually melt mine for 2 to 3 days solid. I usually want to change them out by the second day, after the second day I mean. But usually they're still going strong. But it all will depend on your house, what size of the room, your airflow, if you're using a ceiling fan, if your windows are open. One of these big ones in a wax melter in a bathroom, that might just blow you away, a small bedroom. So in that case, it may need to be broken up. But anyway, that's what they're for. It's just for fragrance purposes. So now I'm going to start pouring. I think you guys can see all this. Alright. And I just go ahead and pour it up to that petal line. I usually fill these molds all the way full when I use them for salt soaps. This is all I do. Nothing much to it, just a little tedious with making the brown part. And trimming off its little druppies. But other than that, it's not that big of a deal. Working with wax melts is kind of like working with a base. I mean, it's just a matter of melting the wax and then adding your stuff and pouring it. Now, you do have a little bit more trickiness when it comes into the actual what wax to use, what temperatures, how long to stir, what fragrances. I mean, it's not just easy peasy, but as far as just showing you the process of making wax melts, it's really not that big of a deal.